Hey guys, Saatvik here. Welcome back to another week with the Coding Club. Today, we will be walking through the steps of using simple mathematic operations through C++, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So before we start, we need to open up our browser. In this case, mine's Google Chrome, and type in cpp.sh. Now, once our page is loaded, we need to delete all the unnecessary code and start off with a fresh screen by typing out our basics, which is hash include iOS stream using namespace std and int main void. Now we put in our starting and ending angular brackets before we start typing in our code. Since we need to provide the user with the freedom of using numbers with decimals, we should be using the data type float. This is because float allows the user to insert numbers with decimals, whereas the user of the data type int does not. So we type in float, and we can name our variable, in this case, n1, n2, and n3. So now we ask the user to define our variables, but before we do this, we need to use cout because we are outputting to the world. So we type in please insert 3 numerical values to be added, subtracted, multiplied, and divided. We end our question in the form of text, again our lesser than signs, and type in end L to make our code look neat. Now we allow the user to input their data in the form of cin. Remember to use the greater than signs instead of the lesser than signs in this case. And type in n1, cin again, n2, cin again, and n3. So now, since we have got our data from the user, we can now start computing the data by adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So to do this, we again output into the world and start our text format again, saying the addition of the numbers is, actually let's change that to sum of the numbers is, and our text format, again lesser than values, and then we type in n1, and since we're adding, we use the sign of plus, n2 plus again n3. Make sure we put that space in to make our code look neat. Now we always end off a line of code with a semicolon. But in this case, we don't, because our line is not finished yet. So we do lesser than signs again, and type in end L. Press enter. New text. The subtraction of the numbers is lesser than signs again, and now since we're subtracting our values, we should be using the sign of minus n2 minus n1. Again, we press end L, then another text value saying the multiplication of the numbers is, actually again let's change that to product is n1. And since we don't have the sign of multiplication in C++, we always use star. So n1 star n2 star n3. And last but not least, our final line of text, the division of the numbers is n1 backslash for division, n2 backslash n3. Now we have finished our code. So, oops, forgot to put in that and that and that. Make sure that your code is always looking neat, guys. Always looking neat. So, let's see what happens. Got the lesser than signs at the end. Now it should be working, and there we go. So let's make our values really simple. Let's make them all 10. So 10, 10, and 10. So let's zoom in there to get a better view. Now let's see what happens. Boom. So the sum of the numbers is 30. The subtraction of the numbers is minus 10. The product of the numbers is 1000. The division of the numbers is 0.1. So that's all for this episode, guys. And see you next week. Bye.